Hi folks, been a while since I've done a YouTube layout update, so I thought I would do one today. Been a lot of work on the layout, doing scenery, and just got the kind of layout back up and running. Just working on cleaning the track, getting locomotive wheels cleaned, and everything back up and running after a month and a half maybe or more of doing scenery. Those of you who are joining us, it's new. This is Hawk Junction on my layout, Algoma Central, Northern, and Michipicoten subdivisions. So I model bits and pieces of the branch line that went from Hawk Junction to Michipicoten Harbor on the shore of Lake Superior, and then the northern subdivision, which ran from Hawk Junction to Hearst, Ontario, interchanging with CP at Franz and Canadian National at Oba and Hearst. So this end of the layout, for those of you who've been following, not too new down here, the usual stuff. Did end up finishing one more Atlas Jeep 38-2, 3101, and pair up with 3109. Both units I rode in Sault Ste. Marie when I was a teenager, back in the late 80s, near and dear to my heart. Just bring back memories for me. The Franz station, working on trying to get a decent backdrop photo of the west end of Franz, or the east end, sorry. So Franz looking east towards points beyond. It's hard to find some pictures there that match up. So moving along the sub, upper deck is the northern sub, or the Michipicoten sub, sorry. So I model from the center plant at Wawa all the way north, or west, sorry, to the shore of Lake Superior. So loosely modeled Magpie River here, the siding at Franz. The interchange traffic was actually done where the units are parked and on to a siding off the CP main. Fortunately, didn't have the room, so I used the siding that was at Franz to interchange cars in and out. Moving along the sub, up and down, as we get into some recent stuff that I've been working on. Camps, I think, have been here for a while. We've seen that in other updates. We get around the corner and again worked on this just south of Oba and Oba. This is what I've worked on in the last several weeks. The upper section at Tremblay or Wawa, and kind of parallels the Highway 17, and then Oba, where the CN main line on the right side of the screen and the ACR main line parallel each other, and a lot of traffic gets interchanged in and out of here. A lot of steel traffic, forestry traffic goes. A lot of it goes east-west, north-south, all over the place as I'm learning. So loosely based, there's a lot of tracks and stuff that I didn't get to do at Oba, but nonetheless, it's functioning. It works well for how I have it integrated into the operations of my layout. Some of the maintenance away equipment and buildings that CN had, small one that the ACR had, and various details and such along. So we get further north. My Oba is actually flipped just due to space and constraints here. It actually worked better to flip Oba around and then change it up a little bit. As with Franz station, this is one of the stations that David Bedard had made for me a few years back. Thanks, Dave. Amazing work as always. And then just been working on here and there. Really shout out to all the guys who have been helping me out, and when I've been bugging them for questions. And you know, there's some guys that work for the ACR that have been awesome at helping me kind of recreate the world that they remember and I remember, and doing it as the best I can. I've had a lot of good comments from guys that used to work for the Algoma Central, and some funny stories, and yeah, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me when guys that used to work on the ACR are like, yeah, I remember that spot, or oh, we had a derailment there, or you know, you should do this, or I remember that. It means a lot to me. It makes it all worthwhile, so to speak. So Oba, and then the upper level is what I've been working on, and it's different than the prototype. There isn't really any pictures of Texaco and Canadian Propane, but on Google Maps you can kind of see where the old spur was. There was actually one spur versus two, and it kind of paralleled Highway 17, which you can see down there. Mine here for space again. I did two separate spurs and one for Texaco. We have tanks that come in and out on a local, boxcars that come in and out. Every 7 or 8th run, there's a boxcar for bulk oil, lubricants that comes in, and then Canadian propane that I've been working on. And propane shipments at one car in and out on the local as well. So working on it as best I can. Again, not too many pictures of old Canadian propane buildings, so I've had to just wing it. It's not quite done. I want to work on the yard a little bit more, actually get another LPG truck and do it up in something other than Superior Propane. That truck actually kind of came from Hearst, my Superior Propane in Hearst. But looking west, Highway 17. If anybody's traveled on Highway 17 just west of Wawa, that's the ACR line actually dips underneath the highway. And I've driven over it a couple of times, and I've always looked and went, hey, that's the main line. I should go check out the old main line. I should go check out more of it, and I never had. So tried to get the backdrop in. That's actually the highway looking west as well. So yeah, it's really cool spot to take some photos. I've been posting a few on the Canadian Railway Modeler group. Fantastic page. I love you guys that are posting stuff on there, and it's just one of my most favoriteest groups on Facebook. It's the reason why I haven't dumped Facebook yet, because of all the other crap that's on there. But yeah, enjoying it. Coming up next, we'll be doing the upper level at Tremblay, where there's some pulp log reloads, an old scale house, siding. That's coming up probably, I've been doing a lot of scenery, so maybe this fall. I want to get back into some operations. And then down below will be Oba Lake, which again is flipped on my layout, just due to space and where things would work, but you'll get the idea. So there'll be 3 trestles, causeways and stuff, and scenery breaks in between the bridges. And man, thank God people are taking pictures, like Chris Vanderhyde and guys that taken pictures back in the day from Algoma Central trains, and guys that taken videos of the Algoma Central when it was the real Algoma Central. Man, like, stuff is invaluable to me. So it should be fun. And then we get a lot of distance between Oba and Hearst, but compressed in a model railway. The pulp mill, as those of you know, that was never outside of Hearst at Weybourne, but I wanted a pulp mill. I love the traffic that it creates. I love you can have switchers in and out. So been doing a lot of custom work over the winter time, which was kind of fun. So I was doing a lot of work for people, different clients, just kind of filling in the gap of working on my own layout, taking a break, working on some other stuff for people. People have been super supportive of the work I've done for them. I've tried to put my heart and soul into work that I've done for them. They seem to appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. So I've been working on some CN stuff for myself. I actually did this can-do unit. Never was a beacon on the can-do unit, but I thought, hey, they're pretty cool. I like it. Why not? So I did this one up for myself just to kind of hang out. 4015 is actually Terrace Bay right now, from what I gathered from guys telling me where they are. But what the heck, I'll do it. It's neat. I love the black. I may not keep it forever, but I'll keep it for a while. I usually have different units come in and out of the mill as kind of leased power or borrowed power or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of nice to have some variety coming in and out of here, and it can be interchanged with CP, and the units can be interchanged with CP or CN or wherever. And I've got different units, all sorts of different units. So if we get into Hearst, Ontario, I had made a big transition from Hearst. Had Ontario Northland in here a while ago. I've actually cycled all the Ontario Northland stuff out, and I've actually swapped over to all Canadian National. It's as close as I can get it. I've worked on a few units for myself, and more prototypical for my era, late 80s. Ontario Northland never came in until the 70s or the late 90s. So again, I'm working with a 10 feet at a time. These sections, they're scenery. Just at the beginning of my layout, when I first started it, I was kind of jumping around, and I really was noticing that I wasn't getting any one thing done at one time. And I said to myself, I need to do 10 feet at a time. If I do 10 feet at a time and dial it in and get it looking really good, then I won't be jumping around, and I'll actually get some progress done. But everything, if you skip around, I find that you really don't get anything done, and it seems overwhelming. So I chunk it into 10 feet sections and get her done. So over the winter, I did paint a few CN units for myself. That's one of them. I built another Caslow kit for myself. So it was kind of cool. I was able to get some of these done in here. Some of these units actually did make their way into Hearst at some point or another. And also, I painted these two for myself and one more that's on the workbench that I'm working on. So yeah, not too much else other than that. Hope everybody's having a good summer. Everybody's not too locked down with all this COVID stuff that's going around. Wash your hands, don't spit on people, all that good stuff. And yeah, stay safe and keep the comments coming. Appreciate the support, and have fun.